Okay, hello. My name is Nicetas. I speedrun Doom Eternal, and I'm here with a lawyer. Lawyer is a Doom speedrunning community moderator, and he's also a speedrunner. And we're here to show you how to do Doom Hunter base 100% the speedrunning way.
Yeah, Ultra Nightmare, 100% Doom Hunter base. We'll be going over the fights, pickups, everything. It won't be too long a tutorial, but we'll go over everything.
Yeah, this level isn't too long compared to other ones like Cultist and Exultia.
Yeah, Cultist is very difficult, and it feels a bit weird in the sense that Doom Hunter base is a boss level. So, like in your mind, you might think that it's harder, but actually it isn't. Cultist base is a lot harder than Doom Hunter base, and if you made it this far, if you made it to Doom Hunter base, you could make it to the end of the game.
Yeah. It's like most runs I get to Doom Hunter are finished, unless like you reset somewhere later down.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first fight of Doom Hunter is a train fight. The train fight ends when all demons are cleared out, and this one isn't too long. It's just a couple fodder and one mancubus. And so first, when you dash up and get over the trigger, one fodder spawns to the top right, one spawns to the middle, and one spawns to the top left. So he clears the top right and the top left. And he does it a little weirdly, but there's many ways to do this fight. And what Zai does is he clears out the fodder in the back, which there's one soldier here, and sometimes there's an imp up here. And so he tries to clear them all out. And there's always a soldier that's by the chain. And then he just chainsaws them with the 3 pips that you saved from Cultist base. By the time he dashes to the chains are ready for him to position is stable now.
Yeah, and we went over at some length was on Deceiver about the fact you needed to finish Cultist base with 3 chainsaws, and that's kind of what it allows you to chainsaw that mancubus. But if you don't have 3 chainsaws, don't worry, like we said, you'll kill the mancubus.
You could always chainsaw.
Yeah.
And so here, the only here you don't need to kill any of the fodder. You just need to pick up the Praetor Suit token, which is just above. We're gonna do this with the meat hook that we have, and you have to meat hook off of a person standing on the bridge, as it gives you extra height. And what you do is you double jump, meat hook, and then double jump out of the meat hook, and you get extra height. As you can see, that's what he does, and he gets just enough height to get to the Praetor Suit token.
Yeah, I call that quad jumping because you get 4 jumps out of it. But if you double jump before a meat hook, the act of meat hooking gives you back 2 more jumps, so you can jump 4 times, which is used here, and it's used a couple of times. It's used in Cultist base actually for that weird statue skip, and we use it in other places in the game. But that's what I call quad jumping.
It's just a very simple and effective way to gain a lot of height. And so you pick up this suit token, and you could just go across this ravine or this emptiness in whichever way you want. The quickest way is to meat hook off the soldier on the bridge, and you just do this by attaching your meat hook, pressing A, or S if you're using ESDF, or your left strafe button, exclusively without pressing W, and then you swap weapons right as you finish the movement, and you get the extra height. Here he pulls up his weapon wheel, but it's a little unneeded, as this meat hook is a little short. you don't need too much speed.
Yeah. I don't think this is too hard a yeethook to land, but as Nicetas said, the important part about yeethooks is just holding strafe directions, left or right, depending on where you want to go, and not doing anything else, and swapping your weapon just when you want the yeethook to break, because that breaks the yeethook, so it allows you to get that speed in the direction you want.
Yeah, it's the act of breaking your meat hook that allows you to preserve your speed.
Mhm.
And so this next fight, it's probably the longest fight other than the boss fight at the end of this level, and it's the only one. I think it's one of the only fights that are changed from patch 1.1 to later patches. In later patches, there's a couple more heavy demons, and on this patch, it's a lot faster.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the reasons you want to down patch. Well, yeah, it's one of the reasons you want to down patch. I think they've added at least a wave of heavy demons, whereas here there aren't as many.
Oh, also, as you can see, with his heat blast, only one charge of heat blast can stun a pinky, and it's a very effective way to kill them and able to. So
yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No. I was gonna say it's one of it's what you said. It's extremely effective. Heat blast is great for that. It stuns the pinkies, and you can just go behind them and shoot their ass.
Yeah. So there's always a pinky that spawns out here, and so you just take the bounce pad off, and heat blast him right in the face and shoot him in the booty, and he dies pretty quickly. And then you want to clear 4 fodder. It's gonna be 2 imps, 2 soldiers, and they're kind of random where they are. You just have to scout out for them a little bit and try to find them. If you kill most of them and don't kill the last one, it's fine. I think it's just slightly slower. I'm not entirely sure about.
I can't remember the fodder on this specific fight, but I do know that the zombies, like the one in the middle of the screen, they don't count as fodder.
Yeah,
so, as Nicetas said, yeah, imps or soldiers. So you need to hunt for those.
He kills one soldier here. And so here, there's always a revenant that spawns here, right in front of your face. And there's a pinky that spawns over here. I think last stream was so one pinky spawns over here, and one revenant spawns on the other end. And so he's charging up heat blast so that he can effectively kill the pinky. And what he does is he dry swaps SSG to kill the revenant. He kills the second revenant with lock-on burst. He stuns the pinky and shoots his booty to kill him. And here, a spider always spawns when you kill the 2 revenants and 2 pinkies. So he dry swaps SSG here. He takes the bounce pad to kill the Hell Knight, which always spawns here. And when he kills the Hell Knight, a Mancubus will spawn here, which he SSG PB SSGs, and that kills them extremely quickly. And when the Mancubus is dead, a Whiplash spawns over here to the left. And then you just need to clear out the gargoyles, imps, and soldiers, which are remaining, and then the fight is over.
Yeah, the Whiplash spawns as soon as you kill both the Hell Knight and the Arachnotron. So the Whiplash and the Mancubus kind of spawn at the same time. And the start of the fight, he's very aggressive in killing that second Revenant. He kind of dashes in the middle of enemies and locks on to kill him. What I used to do to be a bit safer, which is slower, but it's safer, I'd kill the Revenant as it spawned, went to the Pinky, and then looped back to kill the Revenant. And the last Revenant, and since, as Nicetas said, everything is always spawns at the same time, it's pretty easy to get a pattern in this fight and to kind of get used to it. So it's a good fight to practice on Nightmare. Just practice it a couple of times to get your pattern, see how you want to deal with the enemies, and because Xayah is obviously very aggressive in some of his movements, and you might not be able to do that if you're starting out. But regardless of what you do, the spawning patterns and the spawning locations will always be the same. And last point, you see Xayah has 2 chainsaw pips here, and he's just jumping over a third one. If you want to be really safe, you can pick up that third one and use it to kill one of the heavies, in particular the Mancubus, which is what I used to do on my casual-ish runs. I used to kill the Mancubus with the 3 chainsaws because I didn't want to have to deal with them.
Or something I found is you could pick up a chainsaw pip here, and either chainsaw fodder here in this fight, or chainsaw in the Waterfall arena. And it's just as long as you're leaving the Waterfall arena with 2 pips, you're good to go. You can't be stuck into a situation where you have 1 pip going into that arena, because it's kind of dangerous for the later parts.
Yeah.
Okay, so he clears out the rest of the fodder. Oh yeah, he forgot to upgrade SSG.
Oh yeah, you can upgrade Flaming Hook at the start of the level. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually you upgrade on Cultist, I think, right? SSG.
Oh yeah, I think you must upgrade it just before the last fight. Yeah. Probably.
After the Slayer Gate, but a lot of people do it on Doom Hunter because it's a little easier to remember. Since it's the start of the game. He clears out fodder. So here, it's a pretty easy skip to do for the Sentinel Battery. Instead of going around through the maze, all you have to do is punch the gate and slightly dip your feet into the hole, and it unlocks the gate. Or what you could do, you could just stand at the beginning over here and just dash forward, dash backwards, and it also breaks the gate and unlocks the gate. So he just jumps across. Here he gets the Codex. Comes back here. So if you dash on the black screen, you get 2 free dashes coming out of it, and then you pick up this.
That's the only time the automap matters. It's because it's a challenge for the level.
Yeah, you have to make sure to pick up that automap as it is required for 100%. Here, he does a thing called dash storage. So what he does is he dashes into a cutscene, and what it does is it preserves your momentum or speed, and when you leave the cutscene, you have a lot of speed going out of it, so it allows you to travel a lot of area effectively. And even if you don't get it, the cutscene gives you a double jump and 2 dashes, so you're able to make it across still. So as you can see, he comes out with a lot of speed, and he's able to just make it across without doing anything before. So here, he does a kind of weird meat hook that doesn't end up working out, but a safe one that you could do is just dash across here and meat hook off with the pinky, and it gives you a little speed, just a couple seconds. drops down, skips the parkour section by simply turning around.
Yeah, this isn't difficult at all. This is very simple.
Not at all, yeah. You just turn around, dash, and then you're on with the rest. So here he skips a wall that you don't have to mantle on or climb on by simply moving to the right, double jumping, and then dashing into the wall. And here's the Waterfall arena, which I would say is a little RNG when it comes to term of how fast you can do it, because sometimes a revenant doesn't spawn or spawns out of bounds and dies out of bounds. It could lose you like 20 seconds, and it's really annoying, especially for the top laner.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty dangerous. The waterfall, the metal that's whatever, the lava that's falling. If it falls on you, can really do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have died here. So be careful and kind of try and stay on the edges on your first few runs, so you don't actually get hit by the lava. That can do like 150 damage or 200 damage in a split second.
It's crazy damage.
Yeah,
you die before you even know.
Yeah,
especially on the higher difficulties. So here,
insane damage.
Yeah, it's one carcass, 2 revenants, and a bunch of fodder. And
yeah, the revenants spawn, I think, as you move forward.
Yep.
And the carcass is always there, and so are the zombies.
And so once again, it ends when you kill everything, but what you want to do is you want to save 1 zombie. And here, because there is so much fodder, it's an easy place to get one of your challenges done, which is the kill 3 fodder with just 3 enemies with a frag grenade, with a single frag grenade. And so here you just drop it in the middle, hope that it hits 3, and it usually tends to hit. Depends on how lucky you are. And so he got lucky. He got both revenants who both jump out. So what you want to do is you want to kill the carcass first, and then dash up to kill the revenants, and try swapping SSG or just simply killing them any other way. So here there's just a couple zombies left due to the fact that his grenade did a lot of damage. So he just clears out the rest, and he leaves this one zombie left. And he does the technique, the quad jump, which we did earlier, to get up to here, which allows, which he then kills the zombie as it unlocks the door behind him. And while the door is unlocking, he jumps up onto this pole thing, which skips going through the tunnel and simply picks up the secret by swapping.
Yeah, so he quick swaps before that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And this one, you sometimes mess up, and it's a little annoying, this swap, because it's a little dangerous. I'm pretty sure Drake found a backup for this.
I'm sure Drake has a backup. I know Drake. He has a backup for everything.
Yeah. But it's a little hard to do, and if you do mess it up, you can just go and do the intended route, which, although you lose time, it's fine for a first run.
Yeah.
It's like no biggie. So as the door unlocks, you simply dash across, pick up this codex, and then here you get savagery. This platforming section, you shoot this and wait for it to drop down. And what you can do is you can go under these places or just go across. But sometimes you get stuck with this animation, And what you could do is you could drop under, just like here, and dash through this area and avoid having to warp back here.
Yeah, and I know some players also like to go to the left of the area you showed.
Oh, right here.
So yeah, exactly. If the clamps are closed, there's a gap there. And I know, for instance, Drake has a tendency to go through that gap, sorry, to get to the central pillar.
Also, something you could do, which the Zamite does, you could shoot the trigger to drop the wall before you get the rune, so that it just skips the animation of jumping out in its face. And so here, since the clamps are closed, you could go through here, this opening, or through it down here. But he waited by double jumping and allowed the clamps to open and then get through. So he picks up the third pip, which helps with this fight. And as we were saying before, you just need to leave, or you need to enter this fight with 3 pips. So as long as you're doing that, you're perfect. So here, in this first one of 3 areas, I would say, there's a Hell Knight and 4 fodder, which is 2 soldier, 1 imps. No, 2 imps, 2 soldiers, and 1 Hell Knight. And you kill the Hell Knight first, and finish off the rest. Then, since he finished the frag grenade challenge, he picks up frag stock off, which allows you to fire your grenade twice, and it helps a lot with the later parts of this level, with the boss fight and whatnot. So then you pick up that, and this is what your 3 pips were saved up for. You chainsaw the main cubis. If your frag grenades didn't kill all the mecha zombies, you could finish them off here. And move on to final carcass, which is in that third part of the fight. You wait for the door to unlock, and then what you do here is, you could stand here at this edge and just PB rocket the main cubis, or what a lot of speedrunners do is they jump across and PB rocket. And you want to PB rocket before getting into the fight, because the main cubis is a little dangerous over here, as not only are you taking damage from demons, you're also taking damage from the like fire, electricity on the ground, the environmental damage that is in this fight. And it does do an extremely large amount of damage, especially on Ultra Nightmare, and can kill it. So he rockets him, finishes them off, and then here there's 1 revenant on this side with 2 soldiers, and then another revenant with 2 soldiers on the other side, and a carcass on the front, carcass on the back. So he goes for revenant first, another revenant, finishes off the fodder, and then kills the second carcass. Also here, a lot of the demons are very weak due to the fact that they also take damage from environmental damage. So if you know what you're going after, they should die in just about 1 SSG shot, or maybe 1 SSG PB. They shouldn't be taking as much damage as a normal healthy demon.
Yeah, and these 2 fights are pretty tough. You know, they're not impossible, but don't be surprised if you get low, or at least don't take them lightly. Don't just run in and do whatever, because they're pretty hard fights. Yeah, and again, the hazards here as well can do a bit of damage, so you do need to be careful.
They're not as damaging as the lava, but they are very damaging. And so to finish off the fight,
I lost your Nicetas. I can't hear your mic anymore.
Oh no. You can't hear me? Oh no. Hello?
I see the green.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
When did you stop hearing me?
Just after I talked about the fights, saying they were a bit rough.
Okay,
I don't know
so
why.
I didn't really say anything.
It's cool.
So to finish off the fight, you push the skull on this and wait through one of the only unskippable cutscenes, which I hate.
Well, we found a way to skip it with the whole enemy despawn thing, but that's not part of the restricted rules, so don't do it.
Yeah. So when this extremely long cutscene ends, you go over to the end or the other side of the arena, and so you line up with. This is a pretty advanced trick, which it's pretty difficult to get down, especially if you're not if you're pretty new to I don't know, the speedrunning tricks that we do. But basically what you do is you just dash and you let go of any movement keys, I think, and it should pop you right up into the air.
Yeah, it's a dash boost. I think I'm pretty sure it's a dash boost, but it's a lot more difficult than the other ones we've seen so far because the surface that gives you the dash boost it's very small, it's very precise. So it's not difficult conceptually. You need to dash against something, and then pray it works. But what is difficult is getting it aligned well and getting the alignment right properly, regularly rather.
Yeah.
Consistently, so that's what makes it difficult. And I think Zaye tries once or twice here, but it does save quite a bit of time, so it's worth practicing, even if it's a bit of an annoying trick, I guess, to practice. But it does save, I'd say, 5-10 seconds.
Yeah, it does save a good amount of time, and people do tend to mess it up, so don't worry about not getting it on your first try. So here he just dashes into it, pops you up.
Oh no, he got it first try. I thought he got it second try, but he got it first try.
Yeah. You just dash across into the climbable wall, and you go into this climbable wall, and here you quick swap again to skip the animation, and then you go punch this thing, and then go onto this wall, which then there's another collectible here, which again you quick swap to avoid the animation, and then you drop down to get the character suit token, and then you go into this portal, which sends you back to the top, and here is a big skip of the level. It's it's one of two big yeethooks, as we call them. And they tend to be challenging when you're first beginning, but once you get used to them and once you understand what you need to do, they begin to be a lot easier to do and a lot more understandable. So what you do here, you dash across, and then what he's gonna do is he's gonna attach or meat hook onto this imp that always spawns here exclusively, and you meat hook onto him, open your weapon wheel, and press your right movement key, and only your right movement key, as this gives you speed, because the weapon wheel gives you more frames that you're in your meat hook, which allows you to get more speed when you detach from your meat hook. And so what he does here, he attaches, and then he then double jumps right before the ramp, and then lets go of his movement before double jumping, because you don't want to press any movement keys while hitting the ramp, as it'll slow down your movement completely and not allow you to sort of, I think it's bounce off the ramp and allow you to gain speed. But here he just simply bounces off and goes to this other trader suit token, which you need to get as well as that.
That's a great explanation, because I've always had trouble understanding when they jumped and whether they jumped on that skip, and that's I didn't know they did it. They had to let go to the movement keys before the jump. That's good to know.
And
but it's a skip you want to practice. It's a fun skip. It's perfectly doable, even for an intermediary player. It takes a bit of practice, but it's so fun that I think it's worth the investment.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's very very satisfying to do, I would say.
Yeah, and as Nicetas said, he opens the weapon wheel thing. Essentially, the weapon wheel thing slows down time, and since the game slows down time, you get more frames accelerating, because the game spends more time in the acceleration process. So it accelerates you more than it should if you didn't slow down time. That's the short version of what we understand from the game. We don't really know 100% how it works, but that's kind of like our main hypothesis. So you could do it with the weapon wheel, but you could also do it with Chrono Strike, the Rune. They don't do it because they prefer having Savagery, Air Control, and Blood Fueled, because that saves saves time compared to Chrono Strike. But you can do it with Chrono Strike as well, and opening the weapon wheel is an important part of most big yeethooks, because otherwise you're not going to have enough speed to get the boost you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a really good explanation. It's a lot of big things that we do in this game. They're a little unknown because we don't know 100% about it, but we just have hypotheses that tend to make sense, I think.
Yeah, exactly. The whole FPS thing, and it's kind of complicated. We don't really know, but we know it works. We have practical understanding of it, and we know there's a difference between a normal yeethook and a yeethook with a weapon wheel. So we do it with the weapon wheel, and that gives us a lot of speed. So that's how you want to do it. And there's also, I think, another version of the yeethook where you yeethook the Kako, which is what we used to do in NMG. I don't think it's necessarily easier, but it might. You could try that. It might make a bit more sense or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But if you see someone else doing it that way, don't be surprised. I don't think it's significantly slower.
Maybe
or
a
slower.
couple seconds at
yeah,
most,
exactly. Yeah. But there are a few other ways to do that yeethook.
Yeah. Okay. So what he does here, he just climbs over the wall, and so once you jump down here, you hit a trigger. Oh wait, no, he seems to. Oh, due to him already hitting the trigger, the demons kind of spawn all weird. So usually you would just meat hook across, but here he just clicked the button and dashed over into the cutscene, which opens the door, which we'll get back to.
Yeah.
And he moves over here. But usually there's a Kako demon which you yeet-hook off of. But here he had to kind of improvise a little bit. And so he yeet-hooks off of a gargoyle. And so once again, opening up the weapon wheel to slow down time, give yourself more frames of acceleration. And so he's using his D key right now as he's going to the right. And so he just hooks off and it goes to this crystal where he picks up here you pick up armor.
And it's important to understand when he's moving in the air like that, he's not using W. You don't want to use W, and that's why air control is so important. It's because air control allows you to move just with your mouse. You're
Mhm.
going to, especially in these yeethooks, when you see them slithering around, going right, left, really fast, you're just moving their mouse. Because with air control, you're basically using your mouse to guide your character while you're in the air. So you want to, as Nicetas said, hold your D key, quick swap to break the weapon chain. Once the weapon chain is broken, I think you want to let go of any movement and just use your mouse to look at where you want to go and make it there.
Yeah. So once you finish picking up your crystal, you just go ahead and pick up this battery, and then move along to pick up this red keycard. Open this door here.
Was it not the slave who brought the demons to us?
The little speed boost you can get is just.
Oh, isn't there a pinky that spawns there usually?
No, not if you do the big skips.
Okay. So if you didn't do the big skips, there'll be a Kako, a Carcass, a Hell Knight, and an Arachnotron here.
They spawn a little weird. They spawn upstairs. But
okay.
The pinky doesn't spawn, I don't think.
I didn't know.
So here you just look along, yeethook off of the, or do the quad jump off of the carcass. Pick up this creator suit token.
And these enemies, they don't count towards the fight.
Yeah, you don't need to
demonic corruptors. Yeah, so there's no need to kill anyone.
So he just moves along, opens this door, so you have to kill these monsters. These enemies, and so the first one is the first prowler, so you just simply SSG him by getting close to him.
Yeah, just rush his face and super shotgun him, and he's dead.
And then here you dash to the right to get a collab on the two soldiers. Kill the Hell Knight. And over here it's a prowler on the left and a snake on the right, and so what you do is you just SSG the prowler and dash into this cutscene and just simply go to the door. Once you're here, you try to aim somewhere here and spam a weapon, because it gives you a chance to hit the button for a collectible through, or just on your way without having to turn back. And so here again, quick swap, pick up the collectible, pick up the codex. Then something speedrunners do is they either hop up on here or they b-hop over so that they could into here. So here's the final part of the level, the big boss fight that you've been preparing for. So before going into this, you want to make sure to have 3 or at least 1 charged heat blast, and you want to make sure to have your frag grenade upgrade, as it gives you 2 frag grenades. And what you do is, you right out of the bat, you heat blast the Doom Hunter, drop down 1 frag grenade, and then you SSG, PB, SSG, PB, SSG, just over and over.
Yeah, targeting the sled.
Yeah. And then you blood punch within that sequence. Kills his sled pretty quickly. And so you wait until the big eruption of fire happens. That's when his invincibility frames are over. And you could then kill him with 3 lock-on bursts. And that's the first phase of Doom Hunter.
You should practice this. It's not difficult. It's not difficult to do that. It really isn't. But it takes a bit of practice to get the PBSSG down, to get the the cycle properly and everything. And if it probably won't go as cleanly as it did for you, as it did for Zaire, because he's done this hundreds of times.
Yeah, he's done
But
this
it's
a
not.
lot.
Yeah, it's not too hard to fight. And it's also good to note that I mean, I'm sure you know, but the Doom Hunters in this boss fight they have more HP
Yep.
than they have in the usual game. So as Nicetas said, you need 3 lock-on bursts to kill the first one, and we'll only need 2 lock-on bursts to kill the second one, and you only need 1 lock-on burst to kill normal Doom Hunters in the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm. Also, something to know is with these Doom Hunters, you cannot freeze bomb them to skip their invincibility frames, but that is something you could do later on in the game, as it saves like 2 seconds that you have to wait around.
Yeah, or just freeze them if you're in trouble, you know. If you're under pressure from a Doom Hunter in the normal game, you can freeze them. Here, these bosses, you can't.
Yeah, they're cooler than the other ones.
Yeah, and also you refresh between phase 1, which is right now, and phase 2. You get all your ammo back, all your chainsaws back, and I believe you get all your blood punch charge back as well. But anyways, he glory killed the Doom Hunter, so he gets his blood punch back, because glory killing a Doom Hunter always gives you a full blood punch.
So then you just simply, you don't have to kill any of the fodder, you just go to the middle, charge your heat blast, to open. So you jump down,
We are not
do a
done
cool superhero pose, and then you go to this first Doom Hunter, which always spawns right on this platform over here. And so
We are not done
here you
yet.
drop 1 grenade, and then you SSG PB SSG him. And since you have a blood punch, you don't use it on this one, but you save it for this one. And once you finish his sled, don't kill him just yet, because on higher difficulties, the second phase, I would say, or when you kill one Doom Hunter, they begin to spawn. The game spawns, you could say, harder enemies, or enemies that are more aggressive, kill you faster. So
the game spawns as soon as you actually kill one. It spawns 2 prowlers and 2 carcasses,
and
which is not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun to deal with those as well as the Doom Hunters. So to avoid that, you just kill both sleds first, and then kill the actual Doom Hunters after. So then you target the next Doom Hunter, once again heat blast him, drop a grenade, SGPB him, punch this one, and since that one is in his invincibility frames, you could target the other one with lock-on burst, and so he does 2 lock-on bursts. Just finish off the first one, finish off the second one, and that's the end of Doom Hunter. But we still have the fortress to do. So you wait for the fortress, and then here we're gonna do a dash boost that we did on Exaltia, and it'll give us speed going into the I don't know, it allows you to get to the ballista faster.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh my god.
Don't choke. It's not a very difficult dash boost on the stairs. It's a bit finicky, and there's no real good setup to do it, but you kind of have to dash somewhere on the right of the stairs and hope you get the boost.
Yeah, there's like, each person has a different setup for it. Like, I have a different setup than Zai, and it's just as effective for me. And so what he does, he dashes it over, and then as the doors are opening, he moves around that area and goes through the door, picks up ballista,
That's so cool. That's so cool movement.
And then he dashes and uses the first ballista boost of the game.
So do you want to explain quickly how you ballista boost? It's
So,
not difficult either.
Yeah. Ballista boosting, you just simply jump into the air while moving forward, look backwards without touching any of your movement keys, shoot ballista, turn the back to go forward, and then presses W, and you should gain a little bit of momentum. And this paired with good movement and B hops gives you a lot of speed and allows you to do a lot of tricks.
Yeah, it's and ballista ammo becomes really important by the end of the game because I mean, if you're starting out, or even if you have a few runs under your belt, you probably won't be to the point where you're counting your ballista shots. But ballista ammo has been routed to the, I won't say decimal, but to the very close number throughout the game, so that players can have 2 or 3 ballista shots and ballista boosts at very specific moments in the run.
They tend to save a good amount of time, as it just allows you to have more speed going throughout. It's like an easier way to land. It's like a better B-hop without the B-hop setup, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay, so just to finish off the level, you just simply wait for the prototype, and that is all for Doom Hunter.
That's also, it's a pretty. I mean, what are your thoughts on the level before I give mine?
I would say, apart from the few tricks such as the quad jump and the yeethooks, it isn't too challenging. So I made a couple mistakes in this PB, so you could check out his newer ones. I think they should show the tricks a little better. I think, like the official ways to do them rather than the improvisations that he had to do, due to like simple running over triggers or something.
Yeah, because he overflew one of the triggers for one of the sections, but improvisation is really part of the speedrunning. It's important also to learn to kind of guess something and see, well, this will work. But yeah, I agree. It's not there's not a lot that's terribly difficult, and it's a good. I feel it's a good change of pace after Cultist Base, where you're on the edge on every fight, and every fight is difficult, and you might die. Here, it's kind of like I won't say a power trip, because a couple of fights are still a bit difficult, but you do start feeling the fact that you have more life, you have more armor, better weapons, and well, not smaller demons, but demons like Hell Knights. Well, they're not so threatening after all. So it's a good change of pace. And there's a point I'll make as well, which is that all the spawns in Cultist Base, apart from a few soldiers and imps, are static. So the spawns you saw here are going to be the spawns you'll get on your run. Every Hell Knight, Carcass, Arachnotron, Pinky, whatever, they're all going to spawn exactly at the same place on every run, which is one of the reasons this is also the level is also a lot easier, because like on the first large fight, it's really easy to just stand behind the place where a revenant spawns with your super shotgun, wait for a repair and shoot, and you've got a revenant. So so that's an important thing with Doom Hunter Base as well.
That's why Doom Hunter tends to be a lot shorter than the other ones. Just because it's like once you do it over a few hundred times, you'll get really quick. It's like you'll know exactly where everything will spawn, where they tend to move, or whatnot, like their patterns. That's all.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks a lot again. Yeah. It was really cool. I think you still have. You're still doing another level, aren't you?
Oh, no. I did Exaltia Cult
Okay.
and Doom Hunter. I think
Okay,
the rest is for others.
Well, thanks a lot for taking the time.
Yeah.
I really appreciate. I think it's really cool. Um, uh, Thanks for your explanations, and I'll see you around.
Thank you for having me.
It's cool. Well, see you, man.
So